Do you know the rags to riches story? I've just written here, rags to riches story. Rags are old clothes, riches when you become successful. And the rags to riches story is the classic Cinderella story. The hero, or in this case, the heroine, the female hero, starts very poor with rags, but at the end of the story, she marries the prince and becomes very successful. That's rags to riches. That's a very common story. We love that story. That's kind of a fairy tale, right? And you'll hear it told in many ways. Think of like Abraham Lincoln. He famously came from a log cabin, but ended up as the president of America. Bill Gates, supposed to have started his company in a garage in his house, and then became Microsoft guy. J.K. Rowling thought of Harry Potter while having no job with her. She was a single mother. All of these people, I don't know if it's true or not, but the story is they started with nothing and ended with everything. It's a great, compelling story, a story that makes us interested. I was thinking about that because I was just reading a blog post by a guy called Morgan Housel, who's a finance writer. He made an interesting point. He says, the best story wins. It's not, in other words, it's not so important if you have the best idea or the right answer or, the best product. It's, do you have the best story that will get people's attention? And he's quoted here. Sherlock Holmes said, Sherlock Holmes, what you do in this world is a matter of no consequence. It doesn't matter. The question is, what can you make people believe you have done? That's more important. So another example, great ideas explained poorly will go nowhere, while old or wrong ideas told well can start a revolution. Some examples, I think there's an example here. What's this? Even when the right idea or an expert talent is at work, there's almost always a powerful story at play being used. For example, Charles Darwin didn't discover evolution. He just wrote the first and most interesting book about it, The Origin of the Species. So, if you can tell a great story, you can change the world. And I'm just thinking here, Apple computers became super successful under Steve Jobs because Steve Jobs was a great marketing man. He could sell his ideas very well. Or also Amazon under Jeff Bezos, who I think is the world's richest man or second richest man now, I don't know. So it's the stories that you tell that make a company successful or a person successful. If you come to Tower English, maybe you come because you believe Mr. Sherriff is the best English teacher available. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but that's a great story to believe. And let's hope, I try to do my best job and I hope you like the lessons. If people believe Tower English is the best school, we'll be successful. If they think we're not the best school, we won't be very successful. I mean, of course, teaching English well is very important, but it's the story that you can tell that will turn you into a great success or not. That's the idea here. Okay, I have three questions. Number one, can you think of a successful person or company that has a great story? The examples here, Abraham Lincoln, J.K. Rowling. There must be others that have a great story behind them. Number two, can you think of any bad ideas that became popular because there was a good story behind them? If you think in politics, for example, you could say communism maybe rose in Russia because there was a good story behind it. And maybe communism is a bad thing. Well, I don't know, you could debate that, but There are examples of people, well, worse than that. Hitler, he had a terrible idea that everything was the fault of the Jews, but people believed the story or were happy to go along with it. And so terrible things happen. Two things off the top of my head that I could just remember now, but I'm more interested in what you can think of. And finally, number 3, what story would you, oops, got 2 U's, what would you like people to know about yourself? What would be your story that you'd like to tell people, your image? I don't know. It's quite a difficult one, isn't it? But think about these ideas, think about stories and what story to tell and how important the story is to success. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Let me get my, I can never turn this off. Hold on. Okay, thank you.